Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Will Michael, and this afternoon for Fran Stoddard. We begin today with a heartbreaking story involving a family dairy farm in Orange County. Now, thanks to the generosity of people near and far, the sorrow may turn to cheer. Keith Silva is here with the story of Hoyt Hill Farmstead in Tunbridge. Keith?
Well, about a year ago, Amber and Scott Hoyt began to see a decrease in their herd's milk production, increases in calf mortality, and several cows were getting nosebleeds. As the Hoyts and their vet began to investigate, they found tiny bits of metal in the cow's feed. All the cows at Hoyt Hill Farmstead have names.
Narnia's right here. Her dam was Gosh.
Amber Hoyt and her husband Scott bought this farm a few years ago from Scott's parents. The herd is made up of mostly Jerseys and Ashers, all certified organic. What started as a dream come true for the Hoyts became a nightmare last year once the cows came in from the fields.
We harvested 3 crops last year like we usually do. We started feeding it 1st of September, just like this year, and we started finding pieces of wire. And then we started finding multiple pieces a day. As we're finding these pieces, you can see the teeth marks on the wire from where it was getting hit with the knives on the chopper. So the pieces that we weren't finding could be anywhere from 3/4 of an inch, which is our chop length, to 1.5 inches, which is easily consumed by a cow. It's like, this isn't right. This is not just an accident. We need to start making some phone calls.
The Hoyts say they contacted a cable company based in Brookfield that was doing overhead work in their fields.
One of the owners came out and confirmed that it was their wire, lashing wire. And it's non-magnetic. We first thought maybe it was aluminum, and he confirmed that it was stainless steel.
It's common for animals to ingest metal. Veterinarians refer to it as hardware disease. If the metal is magnetic, the cows are fed a magnet which attaches to the object and keeps it in place. The Hoyt's cows weren't so fortunate. 3 cows have died of hardware disease since September 2019. The last cow died in June.
It caused so much internal damage that her reticulum, which is one of the 4 stomachs, adhered it to the diaphragm wall. It was pretty rough to see.
Without a way to cure the cows, the Hoyts still needed to feed the herd. They contracted with Mosher's Feed Commodities in Canada.
So in a regular year, if we were able to buy from neighbors down the road, it'd probably be $35, $40 a bale. Finding somebody who was willing to work with us not only on the quantity, also certified organic, and in a year like it was last year, we ended up paying $110 a bale to secure that. We got 11 loads. We got what we needed to get, and it got us through until spring.
The Hoyts ended up needing 500 tons of feed. The cost came to approximately $50,000. According to Hoyt, Eustace Cable offered to pay the bill.
Eustace Cable paid for 3 loads, and they contacted us in the beginning of January and said, we're no longer paying for your feed. Our insurance is ready to settle. It's like, okay, good. Well, this is good. Then we can get Mosher's paid off. And their insurance, they were really hard to get a hold of, first of all. We felt like it was a stall tactic, essentially. Right. We hired our lawyer at the end of October just because we were getting a little uncomfortable with some of the terms that were being thrown around.
With feeding costs mounting and animals continuing to experience symptoms of having ingested the wire, the Hoyts were in a dark place.
When we take a step back, we do have a pretty serious situation on our hands. And now we're looking at years of legal pursuit. So we felt like Mosher's really needed to be paid off. And that's the biggest bill that we feel like really needs to be taken care of right now. And then we can take a deep breath and focus on our cows again and not have to worry about this $50,000, $40,000 still hanging out there. We just opened our feed bunk again this year. If we come across more wire, we can't accrue more debt. So if we were able to pay him off, and rightfully so, he should be paid for the feed that's gone, it's fed, it would mean that we could hopefully do future business with him. It would mean that we would be able to continue doing the right thing for our cows if we do find wire in this year's feed.
Recently, the Hoyts received a bit of good news when a relative set up a GoFundMe page to help cover the feed costs.
And we're really appreciative to our cousin who put this together, and all the support from the community. This is every day for us. This is every day for our cows, and we're going to do what's right for our cows. So if by accepting this GoFundMe, which we are so grateful for and we appreciate all the donations, this will give us a chance to hopefully continue and have a little less stress.
As the GoFundMe campaign climbs, Hoyt continues to see unsecured wire hanging from utility poles running through the farm's fields. If nothing else, she wants farmers and policymakers to be aware of this problem.
If anybody's found wire and it's been left there, it's not supposed to be there. There's protocols in place that we are aware of now that it shouldn't be there. We're hoping that even though those protocols are in place, we need to find a way to bridge the gap so this doesn't happen to anybody else. No, don't feel sorry for us. We're pushing through. We'll make it.
As of now, the fund is up to $23,000. Will, we're recording this on Tuesday, so hopefully by the time this airs, the fund will be up a little higher.
So what does somebody need to be able to do to help the Hoyts and their cause, Keith?
Yeah, they want to go to GoFundMe.com and in the search box type Hoyt Hill Feed Fund, and there you'll be taken directly to their page.
Have other farms been impacted by this?
According to Vermont Digger, which first reported on the Hoyt story, there's a farmer in nearby Royalton who got stainless steel wire tangled up in his mower. It didn't cause as much damage, and certainly not to the extent that's happened to the Hoyts.
And just one last follow-up. The Agency of Agriculture, they have some involvement in this?
Yeah, Digger quoted the Vermont Agency of Agriculture's Chuck Parmalee. He specializes in public health. He took the call from the farmer in Royalton, and right now the agency is acting as an objective third party in the matter.
All right, great update, Keith. Thank you, and we'll keep you updated as the viewer. A reminder, you can help support the Hoyts through GoFundMe.com. In the search box, enter Hoyt Hill Feed Fund. Now, with the apple season around the corner, we're offering up a few recipes today so that you can be ready when the apples are ready. Here's Deb Plumley at her family's orchard, the Hackett's Family Orchard in South Hero.
Cooking with apples is my favorite Across the Fence segment, and I have some favorites to share with you all today. Let's start your day off right with some apple cider pancakes. You take your basic pancake batter and you add to it some cinnamon, some apple cider, and some buttermilk as the liquid. It's really important when you make pancakes that when you whisk the dry ingredients into the wet, you don't overmix. You just want to incorporate until the batter is blended. So then you cook your pancakes on a griddle, turning them, serve them toasty warm. You can drizzle on some maple syrup or try this recipe, and we'll just spoon some out here, for apple chunks that are sauteed in cider, butter, a little bit of brown sugar, and cinnamon. Doesn't that look like a great way to start your day? So moving on, I do a lot of searching on the web, and one of my favorite websites is King Arthur Flour. And this apple nut bread pudding is from their website, and it's a lovely and comforting dessert. You take your cubes of stale bread, mix in cream. This uses actually a boiled cider concentrate to give you a burst of apple flavor. If you don't have that, you can use apple juice concentrate. You're going to fold in your diced apples, dried raisins. I use dried cranberries. In this case, cream, eggs, the usual ingredients, and you're going to bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes. You want to bake it until all the liquid has cooked in and the pudding is set. And you can serve this warm, or if you would like, make it ahead of time and just reheat it. It's wonderful as is, or you could certainly add some more maple syrup to it, or perhaps some whipped cream. Now, it's not all about desserts for cooking with apples. And this fall autumn salad has just the flavors that you're looking for. I use grilled chicken breasts cut up. I find grilled chicken breast has a little bit more flavor than poached chicken breast. And then I've got diced celery. You've got your apples in here, of course. I used the dried cranberries, a little touch of red onion, and then some mayonnaise. Salt and pepper to suit, as you like it, and I put a dash of paprika on the top. And this is one of these things you can make ahead, put it in the refrigerator. You may find as the flavors sit for a little while, it becomes all that much more flavorful. And this is good just as is in the bowl, or you can put it on a bed of lettuce, or maybe even wrap it up in a pita for a yummy salad. And that just has all the flavors of apples built into it. Now the last recipe I have to share comes from a viewer, Robert Corliss of Rutland, Vermont. And these are maple apple streusel muffins. And they have all the great flavors of Vermont with maple syrup and apples. So the base for the muffin is hearty. It has a cup of maple syrup, it's got a generous amount of oatmeal, and of course your diced apples, some cinnamon. When you put that in the muffin cups, then you're going to top it with a streusel, which is brown sugar, butter, oatmeal, some cinnamon. When these are baking, your kitchen is going to smell wonderful. Now, Robert says that these are great any time of year. I think they'd be good for breakfast, they'd be good for an afternoon snack. I have to say it made 19, and if you count them, you can see that we ate some of them at home. So these are a wonderful muffin, and I want to thank Robert for sharing them with us today. Now those are the recipes I have to share. I hope our viewers take advantage of this wonderful fall we've had to get out and visit your local orchard, go to your farm stand, try some of the wonderful apples that are available this season. And now, back to the studio.
Definitely looking forward to apple picking. Well, that is our program for today. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit across the fence.